Hi, this is retired Command Sergeant Major Ed Centeno with another video. This video is going to be educational, so please stick with me. Do not forget to subscribe to my channel and hit that bell if you like my content. I also do content in Spanish, which I have a playlist on my YouTube channel. So today I'm going to talk about sleep apnea VA claim. Before I start this video, I'm going to start it with this. If you're still in the service, either National Guard Reserve, and you have sleep apnea problems or sleep problems, make sure that you do a sleep study before you get out of the military. I cannot emphasize that enough. Why do I say that? I'm talking about I have 31 years of experience with the government, including 25 years in the military and 19 years as a federal agent. I crossed over 4 agencies, including law enforcement, 3 of them, Department of Energy as a nuclear material carrier. I was also a Customs and Border Protection officer, and also I was a federal agent with Immigration Customs Enforcement. You might ask, how do I know much information? Because I've been on the service and I know what works and what doesn't. So please follow my advice and you will not fail, okay? So sleep apnea claim. I'm gonna talk about the changes that happen and what is in effect and the changes that are projected. Is the VA sleep apnea compensation changing? That's the first question. And what does that mean for your VA claim for those that have actually submitted a claim already? Today in this video, we're gonna talk about the current rule, the proposed updates, who gets grandfathered in, and the exact step you should take right now to protect or strengthen your claim of sleep apnea. The Department of Veterans Affairs has proposed major changes on how to evaluate sleep apnea or how it's rated. Changes that could shift how and when veterans receive a 50% rating. In this video, I will explain the current rules, the proposed rule changes, how grandfathering works, why timing matters, and the concrete evidence and Nexus work you should prioritize now. How the sleep apnea claim works. The service connection for sleep apnea, you need 3 things: a current diagnosis, evidence of an in-service event, disease, or injury on a secondary aggravation theory, and a medical nexus opinion linking the condition to the service. Under the current rating, which remains in force until any final rule is published, the common tiers are the following: 50% sleep apnea that requires the use of a breathing device, also known as CPAP, and similar approved device. 30% symptoms with less severe impairment, this is a current tier. And 0% diagnosed or diagnosis present but no significant symptoms. Historically, being prescribed and using a CPAP has generally qualified service members for an automatic 50%. That device requirement has been straightforward pathway for many veterans to get compensated for the functional impairment that led to the prescription. The VA has proposed changes removing the automatic 50% rating based solely on the CPAP machine used. The heart of the proposal is an evaluation after treatment approach. In other words, if the CPAP machine can mitigate the condition, you will not qualify automatically for a 50%. The 50% rule, tightly solely to a CPAP prescription, goes away. Rating will be based on residual symptoms after treatment, not on device use alone. The rating scale will be simplified to 0%, 10%, 50%, and 100%. The 30% tier will be eliminated. If a CPAP machine or other appropriate treatment successfully controls your symptoms and you are asymptomatic, the rating could be 0%. Important: veterans already rated for sleep apnea will be grandfathered in. The ratings won't be affected or changed or reduced solely because of this schedule change. Also important, until the final rule is published in the Federal Register, the VA is required to adjudicate claim under the current guidelines. That means the timing of filing a VA claim on sleep apnea is really important. What changes practically mean for new claims? Practically, if and when final rule takes effect, new claims will be judged on residual impairment after treatment. That means the following: being prescribed a CPAP may no longer automatically secure a 50% rate. You'll need documented residual symptoms despite treatment to support higher rating. Removal of the 30% tier changes outcomes for borderline cases. The 100% rating remains for the most severe impairments, for example, chronic respiratory failure requiring oxygen or incapacitating daytime hypersomnolence with severe functional impairment. Because of grandfathering, veterans with current service connected rating should not see automatic reductions due only to this new schedule. However, rating can still be decreased if the VA prove actual medical improvement. The importance of conducting a sleep study while in service, and I talked about this at the beginning of the video. Getting a sleep study while in service or that separation is one of the strongest pieces of evidence for a service connection of sleep apnea. A contemporaneous in-service diagnosis or even documentation of symptomatic complaints in service creates a clear link to service and reduces the need to rely solely on later Nexus options. Sleep study document key objectives metrics: apnea, hypopnea, or respiratory disturbance, inter-RDI, which indicates severity, oxygen desaturation, events and sleep architecture disruptions. These objective results show functional impact and are persuasive to adjudication. If you miss in-service testing, collect any service era documentation of symptoms, complaints of daytime sleepiness, falling asleep while on duty, near-miss incidents, reports from supervisors, or clinical notes that mention snoring or apnea-like symptoms. Arrange prompt post-service testing and get clear diagnosis, HI, RDI, result, and a treatment plan. Establishing Nexus, linking the sleep apnea to the service. There are three primary Nexus pathways. Number 1, direct service connection, diagnosis in service or link established by medical evidence. Number 2, secondary service connection, sleep apnea caused or aggravated by other service connection conditions. For example, PTSD, related weight gain, chronic rhinitis, or sinus disease. Aggravation of existing sleep apnea that was worsened by service, what carries weight in a Nexus opinion. And number 3, a medical opinion that applies specific reasoning connecting the veteran in service, events, exposure, or symptoms to the current diagnosis. Aggravation and environment operational exposure. VA requires evidence that service made a pre-existing condition worsen beyond natural progression that established aggravation. The Nexus opinion may say as it is, as likely as not, 50% plus probability that service aggravated the condition, common service-related contributor, prolonged wakefulness, and repeated night operations that disrupt sleep architecture and can precipitate or worsen sleep disorder, breathing, environment exposures, dust, burn pits, smoke, particulate matter, and airway irritants that cause upper airway inflammation and increases obstruction, head and neck injuries or airway trauma in service that change the airway anatomy or neuromuscular control. Provide this to your clinician or doctor so they can connect the exposure or the event to the sleep apnea condition in a Nexus letter. Evidence, checklist, and practical steps that can protect and strengthen your sleep apnea VA claim. Number 1, file your claim as soon as possible. If you don't already have service connection, filing it before the final rule is published may ensure adjudication under the current, more favorable rules. Number 2, obtain and preserve all service medical records, duty logs, and any in-service sleep studies or complaint of sleepiness and snoring. Number 3, if you're still in service or recently separated, request a sleep study right away. Do not wait. Number 4, get current medical documentation, treatment plans, CPAP orders, compliance data, and symptoms notes. Number 5, secure a detailed medical Nexus opinion that ties your sleep apnea to service or shows aggravation. The opinion must explain the medical reasoning. Number 6, gather lay statements from partners, buddies, supervisors that describe observed symptoms, falling asleep, episodes of excessive daytime sleepiness, on-the-job incidents, or near misses accidents. Number 7, document CPAP usage, compliance reports, mask issues, ongoing symptoms despite CPAP, and any intolerance or side effects. Number 8, consider help with getting information or get information from a consultant that can help you build your claim so you can be more effective before submitting your VA claim. How adjudicators will evaluate symptoms and rating under proposal rules. Adjudicators will focus on functional impairment after treatment. 0% if treatment fully controls symptoms are you essentially asymptomatic. 10% for mild residual symptoms causing minimal functional impact. 50% for significant symptoms that persist despite treatment. 100% for most several cases, for example, chronic respiratory failure requiring oxygen or incapacitating symptoms. Appeals, and if your rating is reduced. Grandfathering protects a 16 rating from automatic reduction solely due to the scheduled revision, but VA may still lower the rating if there's medical evidence of improvement, if your rating is reduced on your claim or your claim is denied. File a notice of disagreement and choose an appeals lane supplemental claim higher review level or boards of appeal. To conclude, the VA proposed changes shift emphasis from device prescription to residual symptoms after treatment, eliminate the 30% tier, and provide grandfathering for current rating. Timing matters. File and document now if you want adjudication under the current rules. Actions. File a claim if you have already secured service evidence and sleep studies result. Obtain a Nexus opinion, collect late statements, and consider accredited representation. If you need a Nexus letter, if you need examples of Nexus letters, if you need a consultation, if you found this video useful, like, subscribe to my channel, and share with other veterans so we can help as many as we can. If you need a consultation, please reach out. You can send me a private message at my website at 18consultation.com. Also, do not forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel at 18consultation. And remember that a good strategy starts with gaining knowledge, and the only way you're gonna gain knowledge is educating yourself. This is your favorite retired Sergeant Major Ed Centeno. Thank you. Bye.